Okay, so 19.
Take 19.
Take 19. All right. Welcome, RiceNoodleCinema. I'm your host, Andrew. Today I got with me
Corey Blackwell.
And Antonio Diaz. We are here on YouTube, on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, and we should have a Twitter and a Reddit, but we don't. So
we got
we'll
TikTok,
get there.
though.
Maybe we do have a
We
TikTok.
got the zoomies
Yeah.
in check, but
Yeah, we
I
got the.
don't know if we want to venture into Twitter.
Twitter's
It's
gotten
a-
pretty
it's a
scary
cesspool.
these days.
I
Yeah,
think it's always been like that.
dude, it's gotten pretty pornographic
Yeah.
on there here recently. I was on there,
Really?
and I was like, they were not censored anymore, and I was like, oh my god, Elon, what have you done, dude?
I don't know.
No, we can be
what's going on.
verified. That's the cool thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
we can be verified with like
Verified.
0 followers.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'll get my
100%.
blue check mark.
That
Yeah.
was so stupid. Yeah, we'll dive into Die Hard first. What order did you guys watch?
I watched Violent Nights first.
Yeah, nice first. Okay. And then Corey's the only one who saw it in theater.
Oh yeah, I get the full experience of it. Yeah, there you go. It was an interesting. They kind of shoved it into a small theater because I waited and I went and saw it the day Avatar came out. So
Ooh,
if you could expect which one got the nice, really big ones. This one had the theater room they put us in had like 5 rows.
yeah, just like folding
Yeah.
chairs.
And basically, yeah, they're like it's like the back room. Like there's like the break room. They just put some chairs in there and like a TV screen. And they're like, here you go,
Yeah.
enjoy.
So why are the floors so sticky? It's just
Yeah,
like the
oh.
old 70s like porno.
There's a
theaters.
vending machine in
Yeah,
the corner.
they-
They kept walking in and just started like pulling drinks out. Dude, I don't know what was going on in there, man. It was wild.
Yeah, when I was gonna go watch it, I was gonna watch it in the theater originally,
Yeah, me too.
because I didn't realize like we're living in a modern age where movies that release in theaters release immediately on streaming services the
Yeah, that's
same day
crazy.
sometimes, and I was just like under the impression it was just a movie theater kind of going. So I was trying to find a time to go, and it was like all the times were either at like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, or at like 11 o'clock at night for some reason. And those were the only viewings for both movie theaters by me. There was one over in Westchester, and then the other one in like the Hull Street location. And I just like, I was like, man, when I went to go actually go watch it, I was just like feeling like crap. I had an absolute total headache, and I was just like, I don't want to go watch this movie. And then that's when I was like looking it up, and I was like, oh wait, there's a stream. It's available on streaming
Yeah,
services.
you were texting me and I was like, yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
watched it last night.
I
The
was
future
like-
is now, old man.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? So yeah, I ended up watching it. I actually bought it on. I can't remember if I bought it on Amazon or iTunes, but it was only like $4 more than renting it.
Yeah, I think you said Amazon.
Yeah, and so yeah, I actually own that movie now.
I hope you liked it.
I'm a
Yeah, we'll
proud
see.
owner.
See how it holds up when we get to it. I have some things to say.
So
But,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It kind of fits in its own little category of Santa
absolutely.
Wick. So,
Santa Wick. Yeah, I really thought it was going to be more like John Wick, but it was
drunk
just
Santa Wick.
yeah, it was more just like drunk Die Hard Home Alone.
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely a big Home Alone reference about halfway through that movie.
yeah.
I don't know what's a
That was
reference.
fun.
It's more like a Home Alone rip. Like,
Yeah, 100%. And
Yeah, it reminded
honestly,
me of the Corridor
actually, let's
Digital
just.
stuff.
I'll get into it when we get into
Yeah.
the film.
Oh, yeah.
So, Die Hard. Absolutely one of the most iconic action films, iconic Christmas films of all time, right?
Can't say much about. Can't say enough about it.
No, exactly. It was one of the first. I think it's an R-rated film, right?
I think it was the first R-rated. It was either this or True Lies was my first R-rated film I watched when I was like 8.
Yeah, it was one of the first R-rated films I ever watched. And I fell in love with it so much that Christmas, my mom actually got the disc for me for Christmas, and I still have that disc. But yeah, I've watched that movie like probably a million times. I think pretty much all of them except for like 5. I think the
5
fifth one.
is just burn it.
Yeah.
Is that the one that came out in 2015? Like
Yeah.
around that time?
Yeah.
I've only seen one in that one, so it was like 100 to 0.
What?
Dude, I've never seen anything between those
next
two.
Next time I'm in town, we should just binge watch.
Marathon it?
The other ones are good. 2, 3, and 4 are good.
One's
3
like in
is
like
amazing.
One's
Yeah.
in
1
like
and 3
a-
are probably the best.
One takes place in like a mall, right? Or something like that. Or maybe I'm just thinking of Dead Rising. I don't know.
One of
One?
Hmm?
Oh, you're saying? I thought you meant Die Hard 1. You're saying one of them.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
no.
yeah. Did you watch
that
the movie?
I think you're thinking about Mall Cop, which was the other thing.
Yeah,
that
it
I
was also-
thinking
Wait,
of.
did I watch the wrong movie? Was it not a fat guy?
So, yeah, I believe when I watched Die Hard for the first time, I watched the fourth one at some point, like immediately after.
Yeah.
I was like, this movie is trash.
Yeah.
But then, like, years later, I went back and watched the fourth one and realized that one of the songs in that movie, because like that movie is weird. It's a very strange.
Yeah.
It was like the fourth one, and because it was like that one emo kid that like his daughter was dating or something like that. I don't remember.
Wasn't Kevin Smith play the
Maybe it's been so long since I've seen it,
but
but
the
like
hacker dude?
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I guess the
hacker
other
dude.
guy was a hacker.
Yeah,
The skinny main Justin Long character.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. It's all about like
Yeah,
hacking
watch
the
it.
infrastructure or something like that. I don't remember. I haven't
He
seen it
kills
recently.
he kills a helicopter with a car.
No, it wasn't a helicopter. It was a jet.
Was it jet?
Yeah,
I thought it was a
it's-
helicopter.
No, it's a jet. It's one of the ones that have the vertical land off
like
and
a
take
Harrier?
off.
I thought it was a helicopter,
Harrier.
too.
Yeah,
The Osprey.
Yeah.
So yeah, Harrier.
I think I've only seen the PG-13 cut of that, so when I rewatch all of them, I'm definitely gonna
They
finally see
they
the
released in 2 different ratings.
Yeah,
Really?
there's
yeah,
an art
that's
cut,
interesting.
which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, dude. Well, I don't want to give anything away because you haven't seen it. The fourth one's good. It's just not like it's a little bit different.
It's
in
not
tone and
classic,
feelings.
yeah.
It's much. You watch this and it's like, oh, this is like every other action. The cinematography. There's nothing like.
unique.
Nothing
about it.
stand
Obviously, it's
out.
not in the 80s,
Yeah.
but they
Right.
didn't. Yeah. But yeah, at one point, like he's like yippee ki mother, and then it gets cut off by a
Oh,
Yeah,
gunshot.
I know,
no.
it's terrible.
No.
But yeah, the
But I mean,
One of
to the credit, it actually like comes off pretty well. 'Cause
One
it's
of
like
the-
if you have to cut it,
Yeah.
then like
At least
cutting
leave
it off with
halfway
a
in there.
gunshot, like, leave it basically all the way in there, gunshot. You know,
yeah, right.
that's pretty. Except at least it wasn't like a bleep or something.
Yeah.
The one of the songs that plays I realized was actually one of the songs from like one of my favorite bands, Flyleaf, and I was
Oh.
just like, that's really gross that's in this movie.
Yeah, that is not a good feeling.
That was not a good feeling. It was like, man, I gotta
You
rethink
feel
some of
like
my
dirty
mu-
for
my-
enjoying it because
Yeah,
it's associated with that
exactly.
movie.
Yeah,
This is just
exactly.
wrong.
I don't know. We'll have to come back to it because I don't remember. Yeah, the last time I saw it, I've seen maybe the fourth one twice, 3 times max.
Yeah, I think I
As
felt
a
like it was
kid,
just
so-
like emo punk rock, like
Yeah.
I feel like that's if you put like 2 Chainz in the Green Mile. You know, like, it was
Yeah.
just like very all. You're like, wait a minute, what happened?
Wait, so you seen the 5th one in Russia?
Yes, the
With
one
the
where
sun.
with the
Yeah.
sun. That
'Cause
was
I think
it.
Live Free or Die Hard was like 2008. That was
Right.
the 4th one, yeah. Then it took a long break,
Yeah, it was like 2015,
Yeah, I watched
2014,
that.
somewhere in there, I think.
My only in
Yeah.
theaters experience with like my favorite franchise was like the 5th movie.
Live Free or Die Hard is 2007,
That's rough,
and A
man.
Good Day to Die Hard is 2013. So we're
2013.
just getting old, and we've dated ourselves just by a couple of years, actually.
yeah. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, that movie was pretty trash.
So
Yeah, I did not like that one. I think that's what put me off. Like, I'll go watch all the other ones. I was like,
No, Die Hard 2 and 3 are great. 3
Yeah.
has Sam Jackson. 3,
Yeah.
fun fact, is actually is a Lethal Weapon script.
oh,
It was one of the
really?
sequels, yeah, and it kind of just got modified into that's why they got the buddy cop thing going on.
Okay.
But yeah, well, don't have too much time. I guess we'll get into. I feel like this movie's been covered a lot. It's trivia. It's been trivia to death and all of its history. The making of it is crazy. You just got to look that up for yourself. Because it was originally like a property from like the 50s, and it was a film series starring like a different character that was played by Frank Sinatra.
Really?
that's
and-
crazy.
Yeah, the whole making of it is crazy, but all I know is the last thing I remember about it was when they were making this movie, they legally, technically had to offer the main character part to Frank Sinatra.
Dude, imagine that. Frank, like 20 years out of his prime, just coming in
He
and
was, like,
being a
80
murdering
something.
machine.
Yeah, they literally just... they're just betting like
Yeah.
the house on like please say no, please
Yeah.
say no.
Dude, it's so funny. He's like got like a
If he's-
walker.
Yeah, he's just like, sure, I'll do it.
Hey, motherfucker.
He's just singing. Yeah, he's just singing everything.
Oh,
Yippee-ki-yay. I don't fuck. No, he didn't sing like that. You know how Frank Sinatra sings, but yeah, can't really get into the background lore. But maybe one day when we revisit the franchise,
do a little deep dive on it.
Yeah, we should definitely do another one. But
Put the scuba gear
for
on.
right now, our belated Christmas special. This is definitely.
Oh yeah, this is Christmas by the Firefight.
Yeah. We forgot to mention the name. But yeah, very professional.
Good
here,
name
by the
Corey
way.
came up with.
Yeah. And
What
a
was
state
it?
of delirium. And then it was Dreaming of a Red Christmas. Was
Yeah,
the
Dreaming of a Red
second one. Yeah,
Christmas,
dude.
yeah.
I was like,
I
an
can do the
hour.
sequel and call it.
Yeah, I mean, next
year's
year,
Christmas special.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget we said that. It didn't
Yeah,
happen.
we'll cut
Never
it out.
Yeah, it's a fresh idea.
Oh, I could bleep it. I've been wanting to bleep something, which is kind of like a bad thing to want, because that means one of us said something really bad, but now I have an excuse to edit in a bleep. So.
There you go. Yeah, just a one really long one.
And it's unnecessary too. Like you skip out part of the part, like you just stretch it out. It's not actually that long, but you just make it that long for no reason.
Watch that viewer time just dive off right at that
Yeah,
moment.
Who
that.
doesn't want to listen to continuous one-tone beat?
Yeah. It's like the life of a mosquito.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, that's just Hell's Kitchen at that point.
That is true.
You fucking donkey.
Yeah, you donkey.
Idiot sandwich.
Idiots.
Well, no, that was MasterChef.
I love both of those shows.
Yeah.
So
I love that one clip where he meets his rival. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
He's like berating this dude for something, and the guy just claps right back at Gordon, and they go back and forth without letting up, and eventually, like, you just see them. You see Gordon kind of just recognize him. He's like, you're all right, kid.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's good, yeah.
But yeah, me and my mom, for a really long time, we were just big MasterChef fans. But anyways, getting back into Die Hard. I don't know what you can add to this movie. It has one of the best villains too. Like
Alan Rickman's fantastic in this
what a
movie,
fucking
dude.
awesome villain.
it's
Like
crazy because
Yeah.
I've only seen him in Die Hard and what's that space movie with Tim Allen? It's like the parody of Star Trek. That was a good movie.
really?
Space Quest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. But
What
I
else?
never watched Harry Potter, so I didn't see him in that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I've
knew
seen-
him from that.
I was
but-
like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
Professor
Snape,
Snape,
right?
yeah. Severus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This was his first film role. I think he did lots of stage play acting, and then I think he did some TV, like a little bit. But
Yeah.
this was his
This
first
is like
ever
breakout.
movie.
what a way to be like
Yeah.
bust out into the scene, you
Yeah,
know?
it's like
He did
first
awesome,
movie,
too.
just
And you just
be the most
nail it.
iconic.
Yeah. God, man. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it later but yeah, now watching Violent Nights, I was just like, oh, that's a Die Hard. That's a Die Hard.
Yep, that's a
you
Die
know? So it's like that Rick and Morty episode where they do a Die Hard.
I showed Brian Die Hard because like he just never seen it, and he was at my house. Like we're sitting down and watching this, and then literally like the next day because he slept over, we were like, oh, let's watch the new Rick and Morty together. It just came out. And it was that episode, and it was like good timing.
That was
Brian.
awesome.
I did not plan this. I had no idea, but
I think
No, you definitely knew.
I
And
didn't
you just
know.
you had a feeling.
yeah, I'm boys with Mr. Roiland.
Yeah, there you go.
I think one of the things that really makes this movie just really awesome is all of McClane's just his dialogue to himself, where he's just talking to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude. It just adds all these little moments to him just God damn it, man.
It's like now I know what it feels. Now I know what it feels like to be a TV dinner.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was
Yeah.
like that scene where he's in the.
Yeah, well, that was like the main objective of this. I don't know, objective. I don't know how to phrase it, but like with this movie, they were trying to push back against all the other '80s action. You got Rambo, you got Schwarzenegger,
Commando
you
and
got
Predator.
Apollo, Predator.
Which, if you haven't seen, we've done an episode on.
Yeah. The inaugural episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rambo, Predator, Rocky, Commando, just like every '80s, played by mostly Sylvester and
Yeah.
Arnold. But
All the big hulking.
yeah, this
muscles.
was like we're gonna do this with like an everyman character, and
It works really well.
yeah. Apparently, he was. I mean, obviously, we weren't from that time, but he was known for like a TV role, like just a drama, like a romantic drama.
Really.
Really.
Yeah. Oh, so you guys didn't know that? Yeah, he was like I don't know.
Also, he said
Can't
there
think
was
of a
some tea to spill
contemporary
on him last
example.
time. I have no idea. You said he's like a bad dude in real life?
Well, okay. Well, I was planning on doing some more research so I could like come to the table with that, but I was talking to my brother-in-law. 'Cause somehow that came up. I guess Christmas time, Die Hard's gonna come up. So I like mentioned that one thing, and apparently he has like some condition. He has like a medical condition where he's something with his like memory. Like he finds it really difficult to like hold on to. It's something to do with your brain. There's like 2 different types. Can't remember the name, but I'm not sure if it's degenerative or not. If it's like getting worse, but like it's hard for him to like remember lines and stuff. But I don't know. All I know is like he. Despite that, like, he still requires, like, yeah, like, you can have issues with, like, your memory and blah, blah, blah. It makes it more difficult for acting, but there's plenty of people, you know, who have been in worse situations and behaved better. And, yeah, like I said, I didn't bring up all the details like I was planning to. I don't have the time, but...
Is it the same level of, like, kind of stuff that, like...
Megan Fox throwing it up there? Like,
no. I was thinking more of Vin Diesel. Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, just or I can't think of
like
any other actors. Yeah, there's lots of just in general, just kind of being like rude to people, and
I could see that.
He requires like 1 to 2 million like minimum a day of filming. Yeah, so the issue is, yeah, so it's like it could be the condition, but like also it's like
he's just making it difficult for everybody else.
Yeah, because what he does now is he records. He really only does like B and C movies with very like low budget, you know. Filmmakers, and they want to add some star power, and you know it's in the genre, it's sci-fi, it's action, they'll throw him in there.
Yeah,
but they have to revolve like all the shooting around using him
because he's so expensive.
Yeah, so they have to like logistically, like, oh my god, we can't have him. We need him in this scene, Okay, we'll cut him out of this scene because this is all we can do.
Yeah,
and they gotta film all those scenes within like 2 days because it's gonna cost $2 million just for those 2 days.
When did the Red movies come out? I like those a lot. They're pretty funny.
I think it was before that phase. It's like nowadays.
That would
if
be.
you look at him now, his past like 15 movies,
he was in like every scene of
like,
those movies. I had not looked at the budget for those, but if they were like $180 million, I was like, that's why.
Yeah, that's why. No, but I know they use doubles obviously for like stunts because he's fucking old now. But like just for the back, like in conversation, they'll use a double, like the back of his head. And I know he's the first actor to sign his digital like facial rights away, whatever that means.
Wow.
So basically giving permission to film movies with his likeness, like AI, like CGI. You know how they kind of did, like, you know, Disney would do with the Mandalorian recreating Mark Hamill, or Rogue One when they recreated Leia,
or doing like
Grand
Paul
Moff
Walker.
Yeah, Paul Walker. Yeah, because like those were always, you had to go. Well, Paul Walker, you had to go through the estate. I guess everyone else that was also dead for those movies, you had to go through the estate, and I guess Mark Hamill had to just give his permission because he's still kicking. But
they used Paul Walker's like younger brother, and then they used
like 2 of his brothers actually.
Really?
Yeah, I watched something on that not too long ago. It was really cool how they did that. But yeah, I think it's like that's like a case to case basis. Like, hey, we need to get this done. Like, can we have permission? Well, work with you. He's just like, here are all my face scans. There you go. You can make movies with me.
That's awesome.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Don't make me suck.
Don't make me suck. Give me hair. You have the technology.
It's only been 45 years, but you know where are we at now?
I know he used to be obsessed with like he hated his widow speak, even though it kind of makes him iconic. Like, it's an iconic look. I was trying to recreate him in a Red Dead. I like took off like no shoes, I had suit pants on, no shirt, and I was like trying to find the right haircut, and I was like, damn, I really never thought of his widow's peak as like an iconic haircut.
Yeah,
I couldn't find something with receding enough.
You just have some angry businessman running around in no pants, no shirt on, and no shoes.
Yeah, it's like
a horse.
Ties the whole look together. Yeah, but he used to be really upset about that. Maybe not in Die Hard, but a couple of other movies he'd make a huge fuss about it. Like, really trying to get like plugs going on, or yeah. But this movie's great.
Yeah, I know. Despite the fact that So like I said, I don't think there's really much we can add other than it's just such a fantastic classic movie, and I mean, there's so much about this film that I enjoy that kind of like, I don't know, like I mean the different types of like props and weaponry that they used is like really iconic. Like you have the Steyr AUG with like the barrel he puts together, right? And he's like shooting him on the rooftop. You've got him in the
MP5s, the Beretta 92.
yeah,
Just very like
very 80s guns.
Yeah,
man.
capturing the age.
All the plastic.
Yes, yeah. Well, and they even make a reference in the second one. Remember how it's shot in an airport?
Mm-hmm.
How they're like, with the Glock 19, you don't even need to. It won't even come up on metal scans because it's all plastic. And it's like,
wait a minute,
no,
that's not how that works.
That's not. That's not.
They say that.
Yes, they do. It's like you can get it right past.
I remember the all plastic line.
Yeah, you can get it right past.
Yeah. Hey, doggy.
Security.
Hey.
Being visited.
How's it going?
Say hello.
Good.
I haven't seen
dog
Corey in a
Yeah, it's been a
minute.
minute. How are you
Look how
doing?
big she is.
Yeah, you're all grown up
She's
now.
so tall.
I'm like 5
You're letting Angus out?
Yeah.
We're just recording.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
Recording's a fuck yeah.
I guess we could do a little editing. It'd be okay.
Yeah. Or leave it in.
Yeah, we can leave it in. Yeah, a little family time.
Yeah, there you go. So.
But yeah, this
I feel like this movie takes the formula of those the 80s movies, but it makes them wittier, right? Like it's just
Right.
like a little bit smarter. Like the jokes and one-liners are better. Like they're not like super cheesy. Like
yeah.
like one I have written down is like the next time I said we try to kill somebody, don't hesitate. And he's like noted, boom, not like shoots it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's actually a good one. Like
Yeah, it's not
exactly.
so on the nose, like stick around.
yeah. Oh my god, dude! Like all the Arnold ones are just usually so bad. Man.
Yeah. But those are also good. And
They're good in their own way, but it's like
What-
they're cheesy.
What's that line he used when he was talking about who is the Stevie Wonder when he's like driving around the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, you know, all of his dialogue, because you see his frustration. He's like,
Yeah.
it's like, Stevie, who's driving this car? Fucking Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
The other one's,
there it is. Yep.
what does it sound like? I'm fucking ordering a pizza.
Yeah, that was
Like,
genuine
that's-
frustration.
yeah.
That's really good. Really.
Yeah. But, hit the whole set.
Yeah, there we go.
Never mind. The set's super professional. It's
Yeah,
Yeah, you
nailed
definitely
nailed
gonna get
down.
knocked over by a
It's bolted
dog.
down
It's
to the
nailed
floor.
down.
There's no.
He's got to take it all down.
Bye, doggos.
See you, dogs.
They work for Twitch. They don't like us posting on YouTube.
Oh shit! What happened?
Oh no.
Oh, fuck. It actually... Wait.
Okay, no,
It's
we're
still
good.
recording. Oh, my God. Hey, maybe... Should we save?
What happened? We lose recording?
No, it's still going. It just opened another... It opened the tab. It came out of...
Oh god.
Yeah, I think we just accidentally opened Chrome. Was all we did.
Yeah, it should be fun.
So,
We're professionals.
oh, you have sound recorder up. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, good guys.
Technical
yeah.
difficulties
Edit
again.
around that.
Last
Yeah.
time my computer hated me. This time it's Andrew's computer that got curb stomped. Hates him.
Yeah,
I
there you go.
curb stomped it. But, yeah, you're saying all the catchphrases and stuff.
Yeah, I think like this movie is a little bit like it's really funny too. Like it's
Yeah.
a good action movie. It's also a really good comedy. Like on the side of that, like it's pretty funny. I don't know. They do a pretty good duality between the two genres and keep it pretty level in both ways. It doesn't really shoot too far into one or the other. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
action movie, obviously, but it's not like so far to the action scene where you can't have some kind of like comedic relief every now and then.
Exactly, yeah.
But,
Yeah, and like I said, there's so many iconic moments. If you go back and just watch like the Rick and Morty episode where they just like take every section of like the iconic moments and like chop it up into like a 20-minute little episode, and you're just like, wow, there's so
Yeah.
many references that you can make from this one movie.
Yeah, that was
Like
the next point
The
I was
shoot
going to
the
bring
glass
up.
moment.
Yeah.
It's just like God.
There's
man.
so much, and because that's what I was about to bring up, and I was thinking to myself, okay, like what else is highly, parodied? It's like The Matrix. All they take from that is like the bullet dodge.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Sometimes like the beginning Trinity like
And
crane
the pills,
kick.
obviously.
And the
Right.
pills. But it's like there's a lot in that movie, but there's only so much that usually gets
Yeah.
copied. But yeah, Die Hard. I was just watching Always Sunny, and there's a Die Hard parody in that. It's
Dude,
fucking great.
That's an awesome
You
show
seen that
too.
episode?
Oh yeah, dude, I love
I
that
haven't
show,
seen
man.
that episode.
Yeah, it's funny because it comes out of nowhere. It's like a hostage situation.
Yeah, it's
and at the
Frank.
very end, it's just like Frank, Danny DeVito.
Oh
fat
yeah,
man.
he
Yeah.
like pops in. Does
He's
he
in
pop
pops out
out
the
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 vent.
vents with the
Oh,
guns.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
They're
dude.
actually trying. Yeah, it's funny. They're trying to escape.
It's the Doyles, right? They, like, have them all
the
hostage.
big coils.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe that's what they are. Yeah, dude,
that's
so
great.
funny, dude.
They
man.
do the whole thing. He's got the gun taped to his back.
Yeah, he
laughing.
like shoves someone off a roof, then but they realize it's like a one-story.
Yeah,
building, so
they
he
do the whole thing where he's holding on to his finger. He's like, no, and then Danny DeVito just comes with a 2x4 and starts
Yeah, it's
bashing him.
and he falls like 2 feet. He's like, oh, I'm
I'm
alright.
fine. He's like,
He
you
just
okay?
water
He's
walks
like,
up.
I think I bruised my heel. Oh, that's not that bad. Yeah, Alan Rickman, Gruber didn't quite just bruise his heel. He kind of
yeah, that might have hurt a little
squished.
more. Yeah.
You guys know the fun fact about that, right? The actual fall itself.
No.
Oh, so I mean, they filmed it on blue screen. Basically, they had I think the real fall was like 30 feet, which is
That's a good
that's
fall.
like off of a 2-story house.
Yeah.
But obviously you got a huge crash mat. Hope you're fine. And it's a big blue crash mat. They got blue screen so they can comp it in and make it look like it's a building. But when they're about to drop him, they're like, okay, on 3, right? 1. Just drop him. So that face that
genuine.
they captured in
That is
slow-mo
a genuine
was genuine
face.
like surprise
That's
and
awesome.
fear.
That's
Because
really
obviously
good.
he's already scared. He's not a
Right.
stunt performer.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
then you might
stage
just like
actor.
straight face it or something. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. So that was a great little.
That's
they
good
did a lot
because you can
of good
actually.
things.
It looks like an actual shift of like facial expression,
Yeah.
100% genuine emotion.
It's one of those things
That's
you
pretty
need in
good to
slow mo.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's not much you can hide when you're at that amount of frames. But yeah, there are a few continuity things I noticed. One a lot of people point out
The shirt
is
change.
okay, yeah, that always bothered me as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how did he get to that dirty? Like, it should have been, it was like pristine white with some blood and stuff, and then, yeah, it just goes, like, brown. Like, he
Yeah.
was, like, Arnold was wearing it fighting the Predator.
Yeah.
It's just been dragged through the muck and stuff, but yeah. That's not too big a deal. I think the scene transition is him in the vents, maybe? I guess that explains it. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I remember it
Who
always
knows,
bothered me as a
yeah.
kid. But one I didn't notice until somebody pointed out, through the years, was they only bring one truck in, and they all the 15 of them. I think it's 15. They come out the truck, but later in the movie, the ambulance comes out that same truck.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I do remember
There's no
that.
room for the ambulance and all those people.
Yeah.
And obviously, in the opening shot when they're coming out during the opening montage, there's no ambulance.
That
in
truck
there. It's
gave
just-
birth. It was
Yeah, it's
making
just
that
big.
ambulance still.
They just
It's
made
like-
they had the ambulance already in the location. They put it together in the
Yeah.
back. Of
It was
the truck.
assembled in there. That's an assembly plant. That's a
Yeah.
mobile factory.
I like how that was used for. Well, he pulls out and immediately gets dunked on by Argyle.
Yeah.
The other one I noticed, because that's more like a straight up continuity error.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But one thing that I thought was funny was when he's going in to check in, right when he gets dropped off, and he does the whole thing with the Gennaro, blah blah blah. It's it's one of those examples of really good storytelling because it's subtle.
Yeah.
It keeps the audience engaged, and they're not just like, oh, my wife doesn't use my name anymore because
Yeah.
we're separated. It's clever. The audience is learning by watching, at the time, high tech, touchscreen employee roster. But what bothers me, and it never bothered me before until I just watched it. I watched the first 20 minutes of it, but the guy just watches. He just lets him do all of that. He's like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, look her name up. And then when the result comes up, he's like, oh yeah, 30th floor. Only people in the building left. So
Yeah, it's just like
you're the lobby guy.
Yeah,
you're
you
the
know who's
greeter.
here.
You're the receptionist. You should just assume, oh, you're here for the Christmas party? 30th floor.
Yeah.
You
Right.
literally said no one else is on any other floor of the entire building. You just let them go beep, beep, beep. Oh, wrong name. Beep.
That dude's the last day of his shift ever.
He
He's
does not
quitting after this
care.
and he doesn't give a shit anymore.
that was just
it.
that was funny.
I do remember that. I did notice that.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
never noticed that. It was like, you're a dickhead. You let him.
They just sit there forever. That's why I also said I'm in a bad mood because I was the flight and then that instantly getting off the plane. Dude, dude's just getting a bad attitude the whole movie because of this. It's just like, come on, man. One thing that's very 80s that hits this movie hard is the color grading. When it's LA in the daytime, it goes how red and orange, the sunset is
Yeah.
blindingly pink and red.
It's a classic LA
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
In all the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
never thought about it that way. Very much apparent.
Yep.
Yeah.
especially in that opening scene, it's blinding, it's just red, and you're like, oh my god, the earth is on fire.
Yeah, that's the opening of Lion King.
Yeah.
Popped in the wrong
Awesome
movie.
one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, like I said, I only got to rewatch the first 20 minutes this time, but I've seen it so many times. One line that always stuck out to me was, the pregnant friend of Holly or whatever coworker is like, oh, should I have a drink? I don't know, or something like that. And I was like, you don't know. And then Holly's like, that baby's ready to 10 bar. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What are you talking about? You're destroying. I don't know. They knew about that in the 80s, right? Like, that wasn't...
I don't know.
Was that not common knowledge? Like, I feel like that should not be a recent development.
Right, yeah.
Like, maybe in Jesus times, yeah, like, pregnant women still drink wine. But I feel...
everybody drank wine. Like, that
That was just water, basically, back then.
That was basically just the
That's because
water.
Jesus just turned it into
Water
wine,
in the water.
Yeah, he just touched it. He was like, oh, there you go. Why don't you drink just a little more flavor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like a Pedialyte packet. It's not really anything special.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
It's grape juice. I mean, it's high for you, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long it sits in this barrel and grows mold.
Dude, the old times are crazy.
Yeah.
The past
Whenever you-
sucks, dude.
Yeah.
They must have stunk. They had like horrible hygiene. They just died at like 25.
Teeth fall out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know, you
Get
know.
married at 13.
Yeah. Then well, getting married at 13 wasn't you choosing to get married at 13. It was your parents were like, oh hey, this is your husband. Like, oh no.
Yeah, getting sold off at 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Jeez.
Get on the boat. You're going to America. Oh god, no.
Oh god, please no. Yeah.
And that one might get bleeped.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a little too true.
Yeah, it's not really offensive. It's just a sad truth.
Yeah, I know, man. Unfortunate history, dude. It's bad, man. It's like so bad. Just going back and looking at it.
100%. So,
Dude, yeah, I was there's a great you guys gotta watch I Did a Thing, and then his friend's channel is Boy Boy. They do some crazy. They went to North Korea somehow.
Oh my god, I did it. I watch
watch
this
that
stuff all
video?
the time. He's so funny,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
But one of he has a short. I think it's not just. I think it's just a short. I don't think it's a full video, but it's like the guy who makes all the racist statues, and it's like that's like he's getting interviewed. And it's like, I found like the best business model is just to make statues of racist people, because if you make a statue of like a good guy, you know, you get your job, you get paid, it just stays up there. But if you make it of a racist guy, people get outraged and you take it down and you get that profit. You get to put another one up in his place.
That's awesome, dude.
It's like,
you get
That's
paid
a-
twice.
That's a renewing contract, dude.
yeah.
That's thinking smart. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
that's
funny.
pretty good. Yeah, because whenever you look at anyone who's historical in any fashion, it's just like, especially like anything to do with a kingdom or an empire or power, just
There's always going to be some sort of
just
like...
awful people.
Yeah.
Like, this did so much bad shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, history sucks. Movies are awesome. That's,
There you
that's
go.
my
Yeah.
motto
We're in the
for
present
life.
times. We do not stink. I intend on living a little longer than 25.
All right, so we're at 34 minutes in. If we're going to make this an hour, we should
Yeah,
probably move
Probably
on to
a little
just,
the next one.
transition.
anybody
time.
have some other stuff to
Some
on
closing
Die Hard?
statements for Die Hard. I just want to say it's just one of my favorite movies of all
This
time.
is great.
It is 100% a Christmas movie. Anybody that says otherwise is an idiot.
And my
Yeah.
brother-in-law says no.
It's in our Christmas special. There's no denying it now. It's in a Christmas special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no more fight. I ended it. We've ended
Yeah.
the debate for 30
Exactly.
years.
The
It's
only thing
over.
that could be more official if that's what its entry was in Wikipedia, because nothing's more official than Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
100%.
So if anyone has like a like editing rights, you should go put the RiceNoodleCinema. made it apparent it is a Christmas movie,
It is
and it is one of
Now
the
and
best
forever.
Christmas movies.
Probably the best. Yeah, I don't get people because it's just like it takes place during Christmas. Like, what else do you need?
Yeah, and it's badass.
He writes
Like,
ho 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 in blood on a guy's shirt.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's Santa hats,
Yeah.
there's decorations. Like, obviously, just taking place, but
It
like,
doesn't just take place.
It
in Christmas.
acknowledges
There's definitely
Christmas,
like a lot
you
of
know.
Christmas stuff going on.
it's also
in
about
that
like
film.
family, like every
Yeah.
reconnecting love. It's basic, yeah.
it's like a Hallmark movie with
Yeah.
a couple MP5s.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a Hallmark movie. If Hallmark wasn't terrible at making films,
Oh,
They had a
or
little
didn't make the
ghost,
same film every single time, I guess.
Dude,
Right.
I love all those titles. If you go through and see them,
Yeah,
it's like
it's so
Home for the Holidays, Home for Christmas, Christmas in LA Christmas.
yeah.
It's just like, and it's
And
the same story every
story.
time. The only thing that swaps sometimes is the gender.
Copy and pasted characters, just like, or just change them a don't know. Like, all right,
Yeah.
Yeah, my abuela watches a lot of Hallmark movies, man.
Yeah, Hallmark is just like C tier. There's I don't know what company made it, but it's like lower quality, less budget than Hallmark, and they made a movie and it was like a bullshit whatever, really poorly made movie, but at least it was like some representation. It was like two like gay men, like their Christmas love story.
yeah.
They made the movie twice. They filmed two movies at the same time. Every scene they just swapped out. They would film the scene and then they would replaced one of the gay guys and just
With
put a
woman?
girl in,
Dude, that's awesome.
so they could distribute it to places
Yeah.
that like were homophobic. And
that's
I'm just
funny,
like,
dude.
what the? First of all, who's watching your movie? It's like insanely bad. There's like,
Dude, that's like a
He's
picture
like-
on story like movie.
Yeah,
He's like
I
you
don't
need to
know.
click like, do you want to be a straight man or a gay man this time around? Like, I don't know.
yeah, it's pretty funny that happened, but
Well, we're ripping on Hallmark movies. We can get into the next one that's basically a gigantic parody at the beginning of it of a Hallmark movie.
yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Violent Night really just rips on them.
Yeah.
dude, not gonna lie, I hated the beginning. I was like, fuck. I was really excited for this movie.
It does start slow. And
It's
you
not just
don't-
about slow. It's like, cause slow is fine. It's
Yeah,
just slow has to be good.
It's bad.
The
slow.
acting was terrible. I didn't believe anything.
The whole
And then they started with
family-
like gross out humor with Santa.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to see vomit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was
the
the
puke on
worst.
the face was like, oh, come on.
That was the
Yeah.
worst. That was the worst opening part of for me. Is like the vomit.
Yeah.
I immediately was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't watch this in theater.
yeah.
I might be the only
'Cause I-
EMT who can't handle puke. I find it funny enough. If you puke, I will puke. So people, when, like, people getting, like, oh, I'm feeling sick. Like, no, you're not. Like, here's a bag.
Slap him.
Yeah.
Pull yourself together.
Yeah, so puke on the face? Not me, buddy.
Yeah, that's nasty.
It was nasty puke too.
Oh, it was like
Yeah, it was
like
very
chunky.
realistic.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. I
And
was-
the whole family. You don't like a single one of them.
No.
No.
And then, yeah, like, they all suck.
They all do.
And you're like, all right. Like,
Because
come
they
on.
try to make the son, like the main character son,
Like the good guy.
dad or whatever. Yeah.
But
the
then
good guy.
even then, at the end of the movie, he's the one stealing stolen money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good
I
luck
just-
laundering
Yeah,
$300
he-
million,
and it wasn't like
buddy.
he was like I don't know. It was just instead of because I was just like, oh, he's like when they were in the very beginning, he was like, what if we ran away today? I was like, oh, that's what's in that gift.
Yeah.
Is he probably saying like,
It's just
hey,
a note.
I'm quitting and I'm
Yeah.
leaving the
You
company.
Blow
find
me.
out later. It's like,
It's
I mean,
not
that was
that.
kind of funny. It's like,
Yeah.
because that's what we all think. It's like, oh, it's a note saying
Yeah.
he's just gonna leave, but in reality, he's taking all the money.
Yeah, that was kind
I was
of.
like, how did he? What was his plan? He moved it
Into
just
the-
like
into the Wiseman
200
windows?
yards into the front yard.
Hey, so you're gonna be loading all this up later
Yeah,
on?
what the hell?
Yeah, like he's gonna load. It's still on the compound.
Also,
he didn't sneak
there's
it
like
off the
20
compound.
guards there. Who didn't
Yeah,
see
that's
him
what,
doing
I'm,
this?
that's what I'm
$300
saying.
million, that's a lot of money.
How did no one see him doing that? And how is no one gonna catch him moving it later?
Yeah.
And why? Like,
Why are you taking the
Imagine
hay
robbing
bales?
a bank and you move it. Maybe this would be maybe this would be a genius move. You rob a bank, but all the money is only moved like 200 yards away from the vault.
You just stick it in the closest storm drain and
Well,
walk
maybe
away.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's
Come
just
back
like,
later?
You're gonna come back later for
I
it.
guess isn't that what happened with Red Dead? I haven't finished my playthrough, but they're always saying like,
finished
oh,
the game.
all that money's waiting for us in Blackwater.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's yeah.
wait,
that is
wasn't the
exactly-
heist in Blackwater?
Yeah,
Like,
it was in Blackwater.
well, that's a whole town. They,
They
could
just
be
tossed
referring-
it in.
But
It's
I
in
think
the
they were
house.
just. I think it was not just the money from that particular heist. I think it was like
Their
the
savings.
money from their savings from
Yeah.
previous heists and stuff. So
I love making so much money and not donating anything. I think I saved up like 10K in my most recent playthrough, and I've donated. When I donate, I just donate like a piece of old meat.
yeah. So first playthrough, I was just like donating everything that I was earning. I was
Yeah,
I was a
same.
penniless man, and
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
repeated playthroughs, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't even make me feel good at this point.
Yeah.
There's no point in doing
Yeah,
it.
that was the only. There's a few mechanics that could have been fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah.
That would have been great if you saw more. Because really, all that changes is like some dialogue options.
Right.
They might come at you like grateful or pissed that you're not donating.
Right.
Like that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be alright.
So, all right. Well,
I'll be okay.
I will say one really nice thing about Violent Nights is I absolutely loved the Home Alone references. I thought
Dude, yeah, that was.
that was my
brutal
favorite
Home
part of the
Alone, man.
movie because I was just like, oh, they're doing a Home Alone, and then they were killing people with it. I was
Yeah,
like,
the
what?
nail-
And she didn't know that she was killing them.
She's like laughing. And she's like throwing
She's like,
bowling
ha ha
balls
ha!
at
It's
this
like
person's
Home
head.
Alone. I'm gonna throw a brick at your face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stab you through your mouth.
And it was
dude.
shot like
nail.
the
That was-
scenes from
yeah.
from Home Alone where he's like holding the nail up to his face, like looking at it, and then the bowling ball was coming.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
oh no!
Yeah.
And then it kills her, and I'm just like, dude, that's so messed
Dude,
up.
the plank full of like drill bits and nails is like screws. That's brutal. That's gross.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
really brutal.
He's gonna
Oh,
like
he
peel
fell
himself
back
off.
onto it, yeah.
Ah, damn.
The perfect that scene kind of went on, but the perfect little snippet clip you just need to show anyone is like perfect of what they were trying to do, like parody Home Alone.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
When the nail was there, and he's like, "You stupid kid! I'm
Yeah,
not
he
gonna
steps
step on
on
it."
it.
He stepped on the
Through
next
the
one.
mouth.
oh, like she's smart as hell for doing that.
Yeah.
And then he sees the nails on the ground. The nails right there. He's like, I'm not an idiot. What do you think this is? Somebody doing a Home Alone? And then he goes up on the ladder. It breaks, and then he gets a nail through his mouth. Yeah,
that's pretty brutal.
She climbs up past him like, fuck you.
Oh yeah, that was hard to watch. She's just like, it's like for comedic effect, but she's just stomping on his head, trying to use him to climb up the ladder. That was rough.
Oh man,
Yeah, I did like some of the action scenes when Santa got the sledgehammer.
dude.
I think
skull
all the
crusher?
action was pretty great,
Yeah.
except for the very first.
The
Like I said,
first
all the
kill.
characters were pretty bad, but the first kill
and
of the two bodyguards. Remember the two bodyguards? They're leading the grandma to the vault.
Yeah.
And
How did they get killed?
so remember, like everything's going off. All the people are revealing themselves as like part of the heist.
Yeah,
And she's got the two last bodyguards like by her side, bringing her into the safe room. But then the bad guy, John Leguizamo, how do you
He's
say his
in the
name?
safe room.
He's already in the safe room, and he takes out his like asp.
And they just chase after him.
They have guns drawn on him,
Oh,
and one of the
and
bodyguards
they
says,
run in.
one of the bodyguards orders, he says, "Go get him," and he goes in, and they cut to a different shot, and he's punching with the gun,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, what the hell? Like,
they did it again too because he comes out of the room with a baton at one point. He has no gun, right? Because unless it's the same thing, but there's a scene where he has a baton and they have guns trained on him, and he takes them both.
that's what I'm
out.
talking about.
Yeah, he has no
he's
fire.
got the baton.
Yeah, okay.
It's two
That's
guys
the
with
dumbest
guns.
thing ever. Yeah,
And he beats the crap. Once they get past the initial, they're just lazies. They didn't care because the rest of the action in the movie is pretty
really
fucking
good.
great.
Yeah.
That's why like the whole beginning I was just like, this fucking sucks. The acting sucks. The characters, yeah, I know they're supposed to be like hateable, like you're supposed to not like them, but it wasn't done in a way that was enjoyable.
Yeah,
Just
it's not like a funny
sucks.
like these just are annoying.
That's-
Yeah, it wasn't like Always Sunny. It's like they're terrible people, but
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
These are terrible
They're just an
people, and
asshole.
like who wrote this? This is like so hard to get through.
They're comedically.
Yeah, and then I was like, let's get to the action. Let's get to the action. That was the first thing I saw, and I was like, what?
yeah, like, just shoot
Yeah,
him.
yeah. It really only has a payoff in the later aspects of the movie. Like, I thought it was funny how, like, they're all, like, trying to get each other killed in that one scene where he's like, all right, I'm going to kill all of you now.
Yeah.
And they're all just sitting there like, no, kill him. No, kill her. Kill
Yeah.
her.
Kill
Kill him.
He's like aiming the gun at everybody. Like, all right.
Yeah, dude. Once I don't know when the starting point. I guess after that vault scene, everything was like perfect.
everything
Yeah.
was just great.
Dude,
I like the pull balls into the stocking scene where he's
Yeah, that was
was
great.
good. That's before
They
then.
fly
Yes.
out. Oh yeah, okay, that's a
Yeah.
little bit before.
Yeah, that's like I think that's the start of the really good action because that's
Yeah.
funny, dude. He's just clobbering this dude with the pull ball.
Yeah, everything was pretty great.
The action's pretty
Yeah.
awesome, especially in the shed scene when he's got the
That was
sledgehammer.
pretty
And like
overkill.
he skates, dude. He decapitates someone. Like
Dude, I was pissed. I said out loud, I've had that idea in the back of my mind. I was going to do it eventually. Someone finally fucking did it. Because I've never seen that in a movie. I always try to come up with things.
put him on his hands. It's
Yeah,
so awesome.
I always try to come up with scenes like, I've never seen that in a movie. And I'm like, the only thing that I might miss is like if it was in a horror movie somewhere.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I could see that, but I'll do some research when the time comes. But I'm always like pretty confident with some of my ideas. I'm like, that was one of them. Fucking using ice skates to actually like kill people.
Yeah, that was sick. He like runs him into his chest
That
and stuff.
was
Just like dude, it's
Dude
awesome.
ties them up and they get fed into
Yeah,
the
the snow.
Yeah.
what's it called?
The snowblower.
The scene
dude.
where he like touches his nose while he's holding the dude.
Dude,
and
I
brings
knew
him
that
up
was
through
as
the-
soon as I saw the chimney, I was like, I'm not really tracking why his powers weren't working before, but this is definitely what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And when he brought him up through the chimney, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
It's just like a
god.
torso, dude.
Yeah,
This
that was
movie is
just sick.
This movie is brutal.
Yeah.
It's
pretty
so
fucking
good though. It's like
brutal.
at the end, like, it's awesome brutal, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about Norse Santa?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah. I
interesting
didn't
take,
expect
yeah.
that, but yeah, it was a good take.
Because it was like, you're real? So I was like, oh, so he's like the real Saint Nicholas? And it's
Yeah.
like, no, he's the real Norse fucking warrior.
Oh, dude, I knew it was gonna be something wild because he had all these
Santa Claus.
tattoos and he takes his
Yeah.
and he's just stitching himself up and he's got these scars and tats and stuff. I was like, dude.
Yeah, that was really the only John Wick reference.
Yeah. What's that actor? What is he? What else is he from?
He's in
You
Stranger
got,
Things.
yeah, his breakout.
Yeah,
was Stranger
he is from
Things.
Stranger
And
Things,
then he
that's it.
played, what's his fate? Red something? I don't know the character's name in Black Widow. He's like Black Widow's
I haven't
dad.
actually seen it.
Yeah, I don't watch that movie.
No,
But he's
I
Black Widow's
recognized
dad
him
in that.
from,
It's like
from
the
Stranger
Russian
Things.
dude.
So
But,
I really liked him. I think he was good fit for the role.
yeah, he definitely played. I like seeing the like apathetic Santa, just
Yeah.
like fuck this shit. I'm gonna drink beer and milk and cookies.
Yeah, dude, the beginning was pretty funny when he's like,
through-
Up until the vomit part,
Chastising
I thought
his-
it was a good.
his
I thought it was a good
reindeers.
It's
scene.
pretty funny.
That vomit literally ruined that scene.
Yeah.
For
I will say,
And it was so after the Mario. He already left.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he, you know.
yeah, it could have
interrupted
been
a
left.
mid. Yeah, it could have been.
me. Yeah,
cut.
I
That was pretty
liked.
funny
I liked
when
it when he was sitting down in the bar and they were having the banter, like,
Yeah.
haha, like.
I started the whole damn thing.
Yeah. And as he leaves, like the bartender lady's like, "How do you know my son's name?"
Yeah, it's like, here, take the gift. Like,
Shit like that,
save me
yeah.
a trip. I will say, like, the...
all the bad gags are good too.
yeah, where he's
the
like,
magical
yeah,
bag. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah. That's pretty
Very
good.
creative, and that's what I mean. I don't know if it was like the second unit director was in charge of all the boring scenes, and like the main guy just
Yeah.
did all the fight scenes and the important ones, and that's why there's such a drastic difference.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably like he probably was like, I'm gonna focus on the big fight scenes. Hey, this is literally like the main bad guy's got to take down 2 henchmen. Really simple, make it quick. Just trusted him with that. Like
Yeah.
that's what I can imagine. And it's like
that's probably what happened.
I can imagine he's like, here, boss, here you go, I finished.
Yeah.
And he's watching it, just like, oh my fuck, we don't have time or money.
Yeah, he's got it. Just
can't
leave it
cut
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I have no other explanation or
Yeah.
hypothesis.
'Cause it is the
Probably.
only action
It's
that
so
genuinely
bad.
sucks. Like, yeah, like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah.
Because it could have done the just anything. He could have
Right.
just shot them as they came in. Like they didn't add anything with their dialogue.
They really should have
Yeah.
just
He could,
done that.
or
right
if they
away.
wanted that confrontation, where it's like, oh, they got even though the audience isn't gonna believe the bodyguards are gonna even
Honestly,
injure.
It would have been a better
the
scene
villain.
if he had just shot him right off the bat, because it would have
Yeah.
been like they open it up and the guy's just standing there like, oh shit, and
Yeah,
then
bop,
shoots
bop,
both of them.
easy.
Yeah.
Come with me, you know. It
or
would've
like,
been
or
such
like
an
if they
easy scene.
wanted to force that like confrontation where they're having the talk while his guns are
He
drawn
could've had
to
something
like
above
prove
his
his
own.
badass. He could have just like had another gun in his pocket, like
Yeah,
had
or
his hand
had-
in his
yeah.
pocket and just shoot through his
Yeah.
jacket, like
It's way
something
better than a baton.
cool or simple,
Yeah.
or just somebody else. He's got a million henchmen around.
Yeah.
They could have just stormed in from behind and like. If I don't know what they're trying to prove, he's like a badass, and they want
Yeah.
to show him use the asp. Have like the bodyguards come inside, about to save him. Like, hey boss, I got him. He's like, no, they're mine. Just tell them to drop their guns and just beat this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like then he can go to town and show off his skill. But like, yeah, that was so forced.
Yeah, in some of the scenes for John Wick, like you'll see the guys will like be running at John Wick with like their guns drawn instead of like shooting him. They're just waiting to get point blank. But the cinematography is so key in those movies that you don't really notice it right off the bat. Like,
Yeah, you have to go
how
frame by
silly that
frame.
is, because like why would you run at a guy with a gun without shooting him? That
Yeah.
seems really goofy.
Yeah.
But like I said, the cinematography and the way that those movies are shot, they're like shot really well. So it's not something you
The
would like
pacing,
notice
the
in
pace
the,
of the
heat
edit.
of the moment or
Yeah,
anything like that.
There's most things in film.
It's goofy.
Put under scrutiny.
Yeah.
The same thing as like anyone who knows anything about like actual fighting will be like, well, that's not how you should punch, because
Right.
every punch on film is wide swings.
Yeah, ultra
Right,
choreographed.
Yeah, because well, even if it looks like really gritty and realistic, like Extraction or John Wick, you don't see a lot of straight punches because they just don't translate on film.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna
They're
just
too
just
fast.
toss one, you're not gonna catch it on screen.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
usually too fast. They don't like. You can't really easily sell the impact because then instead of relying on the motion of the limb, like the hand going to the face, you can only go off of the person getting hit's reaction. Where normally you can have the big swings, you see that coming. There's anticipation. 'Cause
Right.
when you really get into like the nit and gritty of fight choreography on film, there's so much to it. Like there's all these techniques that most of the time are lost. American movies do this really annoying thing where they cut on the hit. So like say for you got one camera angle, one person throwing a punch, and right as the punch is connecting, like right as it's just getting to the cheek, it will cut to another shot.
Yeah.
And then it will finish that motion. And it's just like it takes away the impact. So what Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung and like all these great people used to do, they like to use the edits because Bruce Lee, they didn't really edit the shots, the fight scenes that much. It was lots of just wide screen,
Right,
Just
wide
wide
shot.
shots, show all the action, and there
Right.
would be a cut when nothing is happening, when there's a break, and there'd be another just hey, watch everything. Jackie Chan did a lot of that too, but Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung also liked the frantic, fast-paced editing, and they had to set up a lot of jokes, and they're a lot more. Bruce Lee was like get in a room and kill everybody.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's like bouncing from this railing and this factory
Yeah.
and
Right,
rolling
right.
down.
I enjoy
So
watching
he
his
has
stuff
to
a
edit
lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
So the way that they figured to save that impact, because instead of having one widescreen shot where you're showing the action and reaction, if you're going to edit, you actually have to add in more frames when you cut. So that same thing, like the punch is coming in and you cut right as the fist is getting to the face.
Yeah.
Instead of cutting to the next shot and the fist being at the face where logically it would be, it actually starts like a foot away. And because your eyes are just watching this movie, you just see it as one continuous hit. You don't see it as a like.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they extend the shot basically.
Yeah, so it's like boom, fist on the face. Next shot, fist is not on the face, but then it reaches there. But it's so fast, your eyes pick it up. But that's
pretty
the way
smart.
you need to watch it.
Yeah.
The way to make it work, because otherwise it's just you feel cheapened. You're just like, I'm missing something. Like,
Right,
this
right.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel good to see.
It's not a full translation to like what was going on in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything with art, you gotta. Art isn't exactly like life, so you gotta make it
Right.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But
So
I'm glad John Wick has kind of like revitalized, the genre of like, oh, people actually want to see stuff happening. They just
Yeah.
want shaky cam. They don't just want
Right.
cuts
Yeah.
all the time.
We don't want Marvel movie action.
No, yeah, not all the time, man.
I mean, I like Marvel movies, but I like it because I'm a nerd. Like I like comic books and I like comic book characters. I like stuff like that. I watch a lot of anime. So I get entertained with like the power ups and stuff like that. But like you got to do it in a really made way. Like if you had a Marvel film that came out and it was shot like John Wick, it'd probably be like my favorite movie ever.
Maybe a Punisher Wick scene. That'd
Yeah,
be pretty
Punisher
cool.
Wick.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I never sat through the whole series. I might eventually.
I've seen the movie with God, what's his name?
Oh yeah, I've heard his name too. He's
Yeah.
not like a big wig.
No.
Oh yeah, the Punisher. Yeah, I've seen the first season of the Punisher. It's really good.
Some good fight scenes.
Yeah.
I looked up the clips on YouTube. The fights are pretty
Yeah.
good.
As a perfect actor for it, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
John Barenthal.
Yeah,
he was just
he's-
on the podcast last week for Baby Driver.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yes, he was. He was in the very beginning. Yep.
Yeah, he's
I
the
forgot
first,
about that.
First heist.
Yeah, it was crazy because I watched when the Punisher came out. I was very interested, even though I didn't watch it or Daredevil. I was just like, yeah, like I've always I dressed up as the Punisher at one point or Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah, so it's just like I was very interested. I saw the actor. I was like, perfect, that's dope.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, he's a newcomer. And then once I saw his face and his name, I was like, oh, I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's on The Walking Dead. He's in Baby Driver. He's in this. He's in that. And I was like, I just didn't really.
I've never actually seen any
Didn't really
of the Marvel
notice
TV
him.
shows.
Nah, me neither.
Any of them?
Well, that was before Disney Plus. That was back in the day where it was just a TV show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And they could actually have some more
Is
freedom.
Netflix still in the rights to their own like IPs like that?
Some of them, yeah, but not all of them. That's why some of those shows got canceled.
Okay.
Also, some of it's just Netflix is run by a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, that's a topic we could go on and do a full review of. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that one animated thing you showed me the other day was pretty accurate. With the animated budget.
Oh,
so
yes.
It's just like, hey, like you have all this money that we're giving you because we subscribe, and you're making.
Why don't you spend it on?
You're making
stuff that we
Stranger
actually
Things,
want?
and you're making like The Circle, or I don't fucking know. It's
Yeah.
all these different like shows. It's like, can you make this? Like, we all really like it, and we rated it very highly. Like, we'll give you more money, and it's like, no, like we're not making that because
Yeah.
fuck you.
I gotta remember there's a show that I was really disappointed that they didn't have any kind of like either continuation or like second season of, or like they didn't make a sequel to or anything like that. But it was a show about like haunting, but it's not like what you would think, and it's like I think you would really appreciate it, Andrew. I'll have to find what it is.
The Haunting of the Hill House. How are you talking about?
Yeah, Hill House.
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
actually like that a
I
lot.
think I've heard of that.
That's
You
actually
gotta-
a pretty good.
You gotta watch
TV
it, Andrew,
series.
because I think you would really appreciate the cinematography.
The follow-up shows I could never get into. There's like two more after it, and I just,
Really, there was a sequel after it. Okay,
it's like The
I never-
Haunting of like Bly Manor, I think is what the second one is.
Maybe
And
that's
there's-
why I just
And there's
never heard
another.
of
It's
it.
the same actors, just recycled into new roles.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
like
kind of
a-
like
a,
American Horror
American
Story.
Horror Story, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I could
Interesting.
never get into the second. And I didn't even try for the third. So
The first one was incredible.
the first one is really good.
series?
It is a series.
It
It's
is
like
a
10
series.
episodes.
The first
I
season
think.
is the one you need to watch.
Oh, I'll write that down.
But yeah, I mean, Violent Night, man. It's something that's never been done before. You can definitely say that with 100%, truth behind it. And I don't think it'll be done again. Unless someone is like, oh, we gotta like make this again. Like it worked out so well the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I don't know.
pretty good. It's
It
really
was-
just there for the action.
It's
like,
entertainment value, right? Like it's
Yeah,
just you don't go into it for the incredible story and character building.
There's some
it's,
good moments.
Yeah, it's
Like the-
good action. It's good fight scenes. Like
Yeah.
I think it does pretty.
I think
good
there
in
was
those
just like a
aspects.
couple of weird missteps that they did, like the vomit at the very beginning, just kind of ruined that first
Just
scene.
like so cheap.
They try to
Um,
R-rate a Christmas movie to the max, basically.
And then the other thing too that I
Cruise
thought was
ball.
just like really odd was like when the dad's got his finger cut off by the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just like, man, like this
Oh,
feels
yeah.
really odd for this scene. I don't know, like this movie, even though the movie's incredibly violent and stuff like
I think
that.
it's because of that room. That room feels very sanitized and fake.
Very
and
warm
and-
warm.
yeah.
Yeah. They
I was
don't.
just like,
It just doesn't fit. Also, I don't
Yeah.
think.
I mean, you have the what is it?
Did he cut it clean off? Nutcracker would break
did
it.
it
I'm
break
like,
it? I
cut
think I
it.
couldn't
would just
tell because
crush
the way
I
that
think they said he cut it.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
but-
missing.
uh,
I think, no, I don't know. He had a finger. 'Cause I
Yeah,
mean, I was
okay.
looking-
they
it's
must
not-
have just broke
Oh,
it or
yeah.
something.
That's fine.
Yeah, but like the way they showed the scene, it felt like they just like straight took his finger.
Yeah,
with
like it was a
Nutcracker.
guillotine.
Yeah. Um. But then I didn't feel weird when like that dude did the little action scene and disarmed the guy, and then sat there for a second and then ran out the window.
Yeah,
and
I was
then
gonna
they-
say that was one of my favorite little
That was pretty
moments.
funny.
It's just like I'm an action movie star, and he just like does the worst move, but it works because it's
He's
just so
such an idiot,
unexpected.
dude.
yeah.
And he just gets murked. But that leads me into I took like 4 lines of notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Die Hard parody is obviously they come in and they shoot the main front gate operator right
Yes.
between the eyes,
Yep.
just like the lobby guy in Die
Yep.
Hard. What was the other thing? Oh, Die Hard 2. I was surprised that they parodied that too, because the snowmobiles
Yeah.
and that whole army where they're all like snow geared up. That second team that's supposed to be the kill team.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's a little Die Hard 2 reference, because as we were talking about earlier, Die Hard 1 is so like iconic and
Yeah,
there's so many
yeah.
little things. I just never expected. I was like, that's interesting. In addition to Die Hard 1 references, they're going for 2. And I was like, I wonder if, and it's like, yep, they also were like a fake out, like betrayal. Oh wait, well, you gotta watch Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
but
whatever. Yeah,
they
you're
they
good.
they copied that part of it too, and I was like,
Right,
that's
yep.
even
Plot point,
stranger.
though. What was the point of this? So if they,
Yeah,
it was
I was
just the
thinking that
family
too.
There's no point for that entire portion of the movie to happen if Santa's never there.
Yeah,
What
no,
would-
I was so
yeah.
confused. I'm just like, so
'Cause-
they're back. Like, I get them working with them to give them the inside scoop because they have all the
Yeah, but, like,
internal
why would they have to
information. They don't need to come. They just need to hand over the information
Yeah.
and get the paycheck.
Because obviously, if it wasn't for Santa, they
They had to bring
control.
the skeleton key.
They did.
Yeah, they were the ones that had the skeleton.
No, because
key.
they were hacking it though the whole time.
They did, but he still needed the skeleton key to open it. Remember?
Okay. No, maybe I didn't pick that up because I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, why? Like, there's no reason.
Yeah,
they'd
I
be
was
here.
really confused why they came because it's like
Yeah.
it would have made
Yeah.
sense as backup, as reinforcement.
If it was
once
a
everything
lot
went
more.
down.
Yeah, but
it
they
was
were
already
2 hours
planned.
behind.
It was planned. Yeah.
Yeah, they brought the skeleton key, and I'm sure they had some other reason to extract the cash from it or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't really like think too hard
Yeah,
about
there's
it.
more
I was just
bodies
like
to
more
throw at
bodies to
Santa.
throw at Santa. Exactly.
That's about all. I mean, they were literally.
I guess
and-
I did just really shut my brain off for that one.
Yeah, I mean, they basically all get slaughtered in that. Like, I think it's a shed. It's the world's biggest shed.
The
Yeah,
world's
that was-
shit.
That
It's got-
took me out of it because it's like it feels like a 10-minute scene. It's
Yeah.
probably in
Yeah,
reality
it's
like 5
huge.
minutes.
I don't
which is
know.
Still long. 5 minutes in a movie sounds like a little bit, but that's a long
That's
time.
a long.
It was a
time
lot. I mean,
for
he's
a
like
film.
killed like 20 people in there.
Yeah.
And they're just like the thing about
it's like 2 at a time.
it's 2 at a time, 2 at a time. Like this corridor, this direction. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what is? Yeah, that's a little
And
bit.
it's not like he's like an
It was
unkillable
just-
force. He's just a guy, but at the end, because he can die.
Yeah, he's a mortal of natural causes.
Yeah.
he can still die.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
he gets killed.
Yeah. So like they all have guns. Dude has a sledgehammer, and he's
Yeah.
just and ice
Yeah.
skates. And he is.
But it was
wrecking him.
dark.
But it was dark, and he was a
Did they have night vision, though?
warlord. I don't think so. I don't remember any kind of like night vision shots.
Nah, I don't think any of them had night vision on. That dude on the outside had like the thermal vision inside of the shed.
And he's just watching all those people get obliterated, and he's like, "Oh no!"
Oh,
He
no.
didn't, he
And
didn't
then
even
runs
run away.
away.
He didn't
And-
do anything to help or run away.
And then he gets a grenade shoved down his shirt.
That was
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got
Gotta watch. Yeah. No, it was definitely a good movie overall.
Yeah, it was,
I really liked in
it was
terms of
fun.
everything is
Yeah.
creative, like the Home Alone stuff
yeah.
with the kid, but also just Santa Claus going to town with like a lot of the There's just like little details, like you said, the pool balls, and like I
Yeah.
like how eventually the sockets worn down, they just fly out. You
Yeah.
can't use them anymore. But the only thing I noted, I kind of just sat down and enjoyed the movie. The only thing I wrote down I was really impressed with was the hot suppressor.
Oh,
I've never seen that in a movie.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's like realistic that most people wouldn't understand
Yeah.
because they probably look at it. It's like, oh, it's like a drink koozie for the
it's
gun.
just chilling, dude.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that gets hot as crap.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you've seen a Demolition Ranch cook bacon on it. And
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Like so that was awesome when they incorporated
Yeah.
into it.
I do remember seeing. I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty
Yeah,
sweet."
I wrote
He,
that
like,
down. I was
grabs
like-
it. And
yeah.
he doesn't know. He's like, "What are these gizmos?" The whole movie.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
It took me a little while to figure out like his grasp on technology because he's visiting these houses
you would think he'd
Right.
understand what
and he's giving.
Yeah,
he knows what
I
video
think
games
he
are.
knows what guns are, and he's like hands-on experience with them. Basically,
Yeah, I
That's
guess
kinda
he
what
kind of
puts it
just
as.
sees from like an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Like he saw the world evolve. Well, he's isolated,
Yeah,
Right.
in the North Pole and shit.
Yeah, that does remind me of that scene in Pulp Fiction. One of my favorite scenes in that movie, where what's that guy's name? John Travolta
Yeah.
turns around and he's talking to the guy at the scene. He's pointing the gun right in the face. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, because I grew up around guns. I'm like, don't point guns.
Yeah, when you first
at
watch it,
anybody.
your gut reaction
And
is
I'm just like, oh no, he's gonna hit a bump and it's gonna go off. Or
But that's
something
one of
like
those things
that.
in most movies you just think that and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happens, and then he gets shot in the face, and it's just like, oh shit. So,
Yeah, it's so funny how like a lot of good filmmaking or interesting things that are gonna stick in people's minds are just real life things. That
yeah, right.
most people just kind of follow trends and or maybe it's not their fault. They're not purposely just like, oh, I'm gonna make this in a very like movie form, like
Right.
ignore real life. It's more like they may not know those aspects.
Right,
People don't know
right.
a lot about guns or not
Right.
gonna think about those type of things.
Exactly. So
Or cars or any really computers.
right.
Like in the 90s, all the fucking hacking
yeah.
montages and scenes with just
Right.
like mashing at the keyboard.
Yeah.
And,
What do you think about the revival at the end with the random Christmas magic? You think it would have been better off just leaving him dead and and having like someone else take up the mantle, or you think that was the right move on that? I was
I
kind
think it would have been funny because the people I was watching it with were just like saying how the whole family is like killers. Like,
Yeah.
Because like the mom,
They all,
she's
like,
defending.
yeah.
They're all kind of enjoying like popping caps
Yeah.
at this movie. She's like, oh, and then like the daughter is kind of the most psychopathic, even though she's not quite aware. She's still like planning.
Yeah.
She knows it's gonna hurt them and probably
Right.
kill them. But that'd be funny if she took up the mantle.
Well, because like
She's
I said,
I'm a crazy killer now. Especially because you had the connection with Santa.
well, yeah, but the whole thing with the reason why she was doing a Home Alone was because she watched the movie at the very beginning of the film. She
Yeah.
mentioned it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a Home Alone." You know?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah. That movie's pretty reference heavy. I think
Yeah.
it gets a lot of
Yeah.
kicks out of being like
The walkie-talkie stuff was good.
yeah.
I like how they set that up because that was the nice.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you can see a parent doing that because those exist.
Right.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a parent, but it's like very like believable like thing to deal with Santa and making sure he's real and blah blah blah. Manage
Yeah, I
expectations.
mean, having grown up with a lot of younger siblings,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, parents
But
do that
that's
kind of shit all the time.
yeah,
So
that to transition into the Die Hard reference. And
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was nice.
yeah, well, and then but I still think that the my favorite scenes were from when they were doing the Home Alone riff and like even the scene where he's like she falls down on the tar or whatever, the glue or whatever she put down on the ground, and she like hits her head down on it and her hair gets stuck and she scalps herself.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh. Yeah, that
I was
was
like, fuck.
yeah, that was another
I
one
was
of those
like,
moments. I was like, man, this movie does not play. Like,
No, yeah.
There's no punches pulled, dude. It is gnarly. Man.
Yeah, and it was just funny because I was just like, I mean, everybody's seen Home Alone, so it's just like you're used to that kind of shit, like
Yeah.
Harry and whatever the hell the other guy's name is. Whenever they're
Marvin.
like,
Yeah.
Marvin. Whenever they're getting banged up and shit like that. Yeah, if they got stuck like that, there, the hair might get pulled out, but then
Yeah,
like
my hair.
Yeah,
But
my
yeah, not
hair.
the scalp.
Yeah.
they would never get
Really
scalped. So yeah, I liked the film. I'm a proud owner of it now. I
Yeah.
kinda have to like
Yeah.
it. So, but yeah, I thought it was a good film. I might rewatch it next year. You know,
I'm gonna rewatch it.
it'll be.
You gotta
It'll,
get your money's worth now, dude.
yeah, yeah. It'll
I have
be
a
the-
ticket to it, but that's about it. Man.
Yeah.
It was a fun theater experience, I will say. Even if I was shoved into the little back closet theater,
Yeah.
it was pretty fun, man. I got to go with like the whole family too. I had my dad, my little brother, and girlfriend and her sister all come along. So it was like a family outing just to go watch people get like just wrecked with pool balls.
Mutilated.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh, this is so sweet. And, like, hanging on to everybody, you know? Man, yeah.
On that note, does anybody else have any final thoughts?
No.
No, I think we just go right into rating.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
So, I don't remember who started us off last time.
I think I did because I undershot the movies. And, yeah, so you can have fun with that this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Die Hard is a classic. God, that's going to be hard for me to rate it because, like, I don't really think I have any issues with the film itself. I'm just going to give it a straight, like, 9.5.
Yeah.
I think it's a good spot for it.
That's about where I was thinking, man. Like, I don't really have any, like, glaring flaws with it, anything like that. Like, it's a classic, so you gotta give it credit for that. Like, it stayed relevant for, 35 years, almost 40 years now.
The best Christmas film ever made.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a staple, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say 9.5 also. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
I really only give 10 out of 10s to like I absolutely love it, and it's just like that's a movie.
It's
like,
an actual
that's
very
cinema,
big
that's
narrative
art.
movie, yeah.
Like this is art, but you know what I mean. Like this is it's a action movie.
Take our ratings with a grain of salt as to what we're into and what we grew up watching. So
yeah.
I rated it. This is 6 out of my 50 top favorite of all time.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean you're gonna put it there as like it's pretty near and dear to a lot of our hearts here.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. All right, now Violent Nights. I guess I'll go first. It's definitely a film I would definitely rewatch just because of the comedy value in it. I think that there was like some things that were obviously wrong with it. It's a little cringe in certain areas.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a pretty funny film, so I might watch it next Christmas again. And I think I'm just gonna give it like, let's see, what did I give Prey? I gave Prey like a 4.5.
I think we shot 5.5. Yeah.
I thought I gave it a 4.5.
I don't think we dipped below 5 yet. We haven't gone. We've gone that far.
I think you did 6. I did like 6. You might have done 5.5 or something like that.
Okay.
6.
Then I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
Because I didn't really like Prey, and it's not a movie I'd rewatch.
Yeah.
But I also didn't hate Violent Nights, and I definitely would rewatch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think 6, maybe 6.5 is a good spot for it.
Yeah. I almost had a conniption when I saw my friend's Letterboxd. You know the app Letterboxd?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you rate your movies. You can also just like log them as you watch them.
Right, yep.
But so the only list I made was top 50 favorite of all time, and I was looking at his list, and I thought it was also like favorite of all time, but it was actually just the movies he's watched that year.
Oh.
So when I saw Prey on that list and it was like 80, I was like 80 out of like 100 of all time. What the fuck? It's like no, it's just this year, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, that movie doesn't get that high.
Yeah, I was like about to disown him as a friend.
Yeah. Just block his number right then and there. He's like, what happened, dude? You see on the street one day, like, man, like I've missed you so much. And you're like, don't
Just
stop.
disappeared in front of his eyes.
Don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of cool giving Violent Night about a 60. Like, maybe like a 6.5. Because I think I've rated Prey about a 6.5 too. It's not a great movie. Like it's not like cinema masterpiece, but it's fun to watch.
Or like classic,
Yeah.
where it's like untouchable because of its following, because of its impact.
Yeah. It's just fun to watch. Like it's not bad. It's not great. It's not. And it's just fun. It's dumb fun. You got to know what you're getting yourself into, and you kind of do. I mean, it's a goofy movie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like it's an action Santa Claus movie. What are you really gonna get out of it? You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I sit on it.
Yeah, I would give it probably a 6.5 for the same reasons. Like I would just say a solid 6, but 6.5 because of the effort of the creativity and the action, and the jokes for the most part landed, and it's just kind of gets bogged down by like some of the really unlikable acting and
shitty
the
characters.
opening is just bad.
Right. Do you want to look up Die Hard's like IMDb and?
Yeah, I got a few. I just got Rotten Tomatoes up here. Probably just call it a day for. I could look up IMDb too, but Die Hard.
I can pull that up.
Yeah, you can look up IMDb for both. I got Rotten Tomatoes is a 94% for Die Hard.
Okay. What is that? Is that just critic review?
Let's see. That was just. Yeah. Oh, it's actually for both. 94 audience, 94 critic.
That's pretty rare. You usually
Yeah,
get
it's
like
some sort of disparity.
yes, exactly.
But $81 million box office gross in the U.S.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Violent Night. I don't know if they include streaming. They made $43.2 million, but it's also probably still making money. It's kind of a recent release.
Yeah.
That's got a 73% for critics and 88% for audience.
Yeah.
Okay. We were a little bit more critical of the film than they were.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, we're trying to shoot it to the more direct. I mean, trying to shoot it straight. So, for IMDb, we have an 8.2 out of 10 for Die Hard, which I feel like that's kind of low. But
yeah, it's kind of low. IMDb is a little funky. I used to go off of that pretty religiously until I started seeing some of the cracks. Like you'll never see a highly rated comedy on IMDb.
Yeah.
They rate it the same. They rate it with the same
mindset as
of
like a very like serious drama.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, it's a comedy, so like the only comedies that are really highly rated are like the highbrow ones, or or very like political and like classic, or like Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah,
it's still a comedy, but it's not like nothing slapstick. Or they'll give like the old silent movies like high ratings. Old.
Right.
That does not help your rating if you're old.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes and Letterboxd have been pretty accurate in my mind.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So IMDb on Violent Night sits a little more towards where we are, and they have it rated at a 6.8 out of 10. So that's more. That's where we're at on it. That's kind of like it's good. It's all right. I mean, it's good. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad. Like, it's good. I don't know. Like it's so. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So it gives it about 1.5 worth of boost on my book, but yeah, so I think they're pretty realistic with that one.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that makes sense to me. So
makes sense. The world makes sense again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's even again.
Yeah, so whose turn is it to recommend?
Oh, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
It was gonna be your turn, but it was a Christmas special.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Shoot. I don't know what I want to recommend. I know we were talking about Avatar, doing an episode on that. Do you guys want to do that next week, or do you guys want to put it off for another time?
Well, that can be the recommendation's more of like the personal.
I think which one of your favorites.
If it's something like in the zeitgeist, like current popular times that just comes up, that'll be the second. Yeah.
Unless we have something, I know you're talking about doing a couple movies, but you want to do them together. So if you want to do something else, man, we can.
Oh yeah, if you want to put off, if you just want to do,
Well, I was thinking we could watch Avatar 1 and 2 for next episode.
Oh, that's true. I don't know if I.
Oh, you don't embrace that one? It's like you don't like brace through it. Come on, man.
I remember. I know I like the second one a lot better than the first. So
I gotta go back and rewatch.
You've never seen the first?
I have. I haven't seen it probably since it came out.
Yeah,
same here. So
I might enjoy it more. I don't know.
Huh?
I might enjoy it more now.
Might be nice to go back and see the CGI.
Because like I said, I might end up watching Avatar 2 again. So yeah, because I kind of want to go back and see it again.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, we could push it to give a quarter more time. We could do the
next episode.
You could do your animated.
Yeah, we'll get a break between these new movies, and then let's have you go, and then we'll do.
Okay, so if we're gonna do the animated one, then I'm just gonna say both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So so we're deciding, I guess, to do an episode on animation or classic animation, I guess you could say. So one of the films we're gonna watch next week is gonna be Fox and the Hound, which is a general like Disney classic kind of film, but and then the other one is Secret of Nim. So that'll be our episode next week.
That wasn't Disney, was it?
No, it was not Disney. And I'll get into
DreamWorks, right?
Huh? No, it's not DreamWorks. I'll get into it next week. It's part of the whole story that I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen either. I've heard of both, but
yeah, I'll have to do some research and probably write up some information too for next week's episode.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Closing up by the fire, listening to the podcast
out of our very professional studio here.
Yeah. It's a Christmas episode that'll come out probably in like the first week of January, but it's okay. As we say it many times, we all have very busy schedules, and adding the holidays into those schedules does not help. So,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
We got it done. All right, we're here.
We did it.
Episode 3 will come out.
It exists.
It is there. It is here now. So,
All right.
Yeah. I'll see you boys again in another year for our next in
For
person.
the next
Yeah,
in-person.
for our next in person.
We'll be back online for all the rest. But it was a great. Oh yeah, check out the YouTube channel. Hopefully, get the editing done. Have some gaming stuff going up soon. But yeah, really enjoy this in-person episode.
It's been a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
good
cool.
to reunite /
meet.
Yeah,
Kinda,
yeah.
yeah.
Meet
Meet
for the
cute
first
y'all.
time. Yeah, so yeah, and follow us on all our socials. Be sure to do that. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it, man. I think it's been a fun time. So,
Yeah, we'll say goodbye now.
Yep.
Peace out.
Later,
just
bitches.
take it easy.
Catch you later.